Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? This is week number 2 with our podcast, which is the Kings of the Queen City. My name is Zach Glenn. Unfortunately, I was not here last week. I guess we dropped someone from our clan, so I stepped in to fill his position, and I'll send it all over to all of our other people. So Zach, go ahead.
All right. So like you remember from last time, my name's Zach. Below me, maybe not on other screens, but on my screen, we have Nick. And as our guest today, we have my friend from college, Devyn Davidson.
Yep.
So today we're going to cover the two divisions from the NHL that we did not give our predictions on last time. So we're going to be covering the North Division and the Western Division. We're also going to try and rate all of the reverse retro jerseys that got released before the season started. We're going to give our Super Bowl predictions. And then to round it off, we have WWE Royal Rumble coming up tomorrow night. So we're going to get some predictions and some insight on that from Devyn. So should we start right off with the predictions then?
Do it. Where we start?
Right.
North? Step up. Oh, Canada?
Yeah, we'll start with the North.
Canada. All right. So, all right. So yeah, this is a interesting division with all these teams. You have of course, you have Ottawa sitting in the basement, which they'll eventually get there, but I guess this isn't their year, especially with the shortened season. But they have a lot to look forward to. But I don't know. I'm liking the play of Montreal and Toronto right now. Anyone with me on that one?
Yeah, I agree. Montreal's playing very well right now. And I mean, so is Toronto. Toronto's arguably
I love Montreal.
Toronto's arguably playing better than Montreal as well. They only have 2 losses. I mean, so does Montreal, but I'm pretty sure didn't they start 6-0, I think? So I think they're 1-2 in their last 3 games, but I'm pretty sure they started 6-0 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm not completely sure, but yeah, I don't know. They're just playing some good hockey right now. I think Montreal, they started off I think it was Vancouver. They started off in Vancouver or something like that, and Toffoli was lights out, I guess, going against his former team. He had a hat trick the one night, and I don't know if he had 1 or 2 goals the night after that, but no, they're just doing everything right now. So hopefully they can keep that going with the push coming up, and we'll see. Nicholas, anything?
I was just gonna say, do we want to start by going team by team and thinking if they're contenders or pretenders? Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Again?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So I guess at the top right now, then we have the Maple Leafs. So I definitely have them as a contender.
Absolutely.
I don't see this form really dropping off, and if it does, it's only going to be probably for like slight spurts and slight periods, and then they're just going to come right back again. And they're not going to allow themselves to falter so much to the point where they're at risk of missing the playoffs.
Yeah, no, I agree. I have them as a contender as well. Their offense is like a juggernaut, I guess you could say. But the thing that I would be afraid of is Anderson going to be lights out? You never know if you're going to get a 100% Freddie Anderson. That's why they brought in who's their backup there? Campbell?
Is it Campbell? I think it's Jack Campbell, yeah.
They brought Campbell in last year to try to pick Anderson's motivation up, I guess, and it did something. Spark plugged him, I guess. So yeah, they are contenders in my book.
Alrighty, up next is the Montreal Canadiens. I also have them as a contender. If you would have asked me before the season, I maybe would have said contender. I think they did all right, like knocking the Penguins out, I think, of the play-in spot last year. But I would have kind of been on the ropes with them. But the way they're playing right now, it looks pretty good, and I think they're contenders.
Nicholas?
I think that their biggest question mark right now is, I'm looking at their stats. They can certainly score the goals. I mean, they've scored 33 goals this season in 7 games. They've given up 20 in 7 games. So they're averaging almost giving up 3 goals a game, which is, down the stretch is going to be a problem. You're not going to be able to score 4 or 5 goals a game every single game to beat your teams 4-3, 5-3. So that's where I think they might have some problems. I mean, just looking at their stats, their standings too. I mean, they haven't lost in regulation yet. So, I mean, they have lost in overtime twice, but it shows that they're keeping every game close right now, which, I mean, that's great. I think they're definitely contenders for sure so far. I think their defense is going to be their strongest point. I think Petrie and Weber can really score. Petrie's having a phenomenal year so far, and I mean, like you said, Zach Toffoli's been really doing well for them as well. So I think that the Canadian division is going to be led by, I think, 3 teams, and then that 4th spot is going to be kind of up for grabs for anyone. I just think that it's going to be Toronto, Montreal, and probably Winnipeg is going to be your top 3 teams, and then the spots whoever.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know, Toronto, Montreal, and Winnipeg, they're just, I guess they're like the juggernaut of the Canadian teams, and who knows what Vancouver and Edmonton are going to do.
Yeah, they're the best 3 in the
Calgary,
division.
You even got Calgary down there. Hopefully they can get some good goaltending from Markstrom and Rittich. We'll have to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
To transition into that, like we just mentioned, Toronto, the Canadians and the Jets are probably going to be the top 3. The Jets are in that 3rd spot right now. The only reason they're behind Montreal is because they've lost twice in regulation, whereas Montreal has lost twice in overtime, so they got those 2 points. But yeah, looking at it, obviously we know the Laine Dubois trade happened, like last week now. Yeah. So as we were talking about him, that's a huge addition for them at center. Looking at their schedule, they've been consistently scoring as well. They've only scored 1 goal in 1 game. All the other games they've put up at least 4 goals, I believe. Or 3 goals. Sorry, they lost to the Oilers 4-3 as well. So they've scored at least 3 goals in every game but 1 this season. So they are also scoring at a high rate right now. I see they got 6-3 win, 6-4 win. They've got a couple overtime wins against the Flames and the Senators, who are kind of near they're literally the bottom 2 teams in that division right now. But like we were saying, I think the Jets, sort of apart from the Canadians, I think they can keep up this scoring all year. And with Dubois coming in, obviously you lose Laine, who we were talking about can either be that really good goal scorer or he's kind of patchy. But I think bringing in a good player like that to just play center, especially probably on the second line, then they'll just have good players going down the depth chart.
Yeah, most definitely. And especially with Winnipeg,
Yeah.
I think they overall have the best goalie in the league in Hellebuck. I don't know if Nick or Zach can back me up on that, but he was lights out last year, and he still seems like he's lights out this year. So
I think he's one of the best goalies.
I'm not giving it
to my boss less.
Tampa.
Yeah.
Sorry about your boy in Tampa. What about the guy in Buffalo?
I think that Winnipeg is a really, really good team. I think that they can in the regular season, they've proved that a lot, but the problem they've had is winning in the playoffs. I mean, they can't really. I think they made it to the Western Conference Finals maybe once in the past 3 or 4 years. I mean, their teams have been really good. I know a big part this year has been Nikolai Ehlers. He's been absolutely unreal for them. I just looking at his stats right now. He's played 7 games. He already has 11 points. He has 5 goals and 6 assists already. I mean, he's just absolutely tearing it up already. And like Nikolai Ehlers is probably I'd say their 5th best player on the team, 5th or 6th. I mean, with Dubois, maybe he slides into 5, but I think like Scheifele and Wheeler are absolutely phenomenal. Kyle Connor's great. I think ranks higher than him. And I mean, Hellebuck, you're going to count him as one of the players on the team. I think he's number 4. I mean, 5. Their team is just well-rounded. I think that the problem they might have is their depth. I think they're kind of weak. Their defense is just depleted. I mean, if you look at their team, I don't even think I can name a defenseman. It's Josh Morrissey. Ever since they lost Buffalo, Winnipeg has definitely been having a huge problem. They have Nathan Belouis. I know. I can't forget about him. But I think that Winnipeg's biggest problem is going to be their depth. I think they, like you said, can score. I think they will score, but it just depends on their depth and what they're going to get from their bottom lines. Their back end and their defense, their bottom pairings.
Yeah, and just to touch on that point too, with Ehlers, I believe this is an average He's only averaging about 16 minutes of total time on ice for a game. And that's looking at the rest of the team, that's kind of middle of the package. So he's putting up really good numbers on not very long times on the ice. So, I mean, if he can keep that up throughout the season, then I don't see how they don't make the playoffs. So definitely contender for me.
Yeah, I think they're contenders as well.
Absolutely.
I don't think there's a touch on it. I mean, I think that definitely the top three contenders are definitely Montreal, Toronto, Winnipeg.
Yeah, I agree.
Those are your top three instantly. And as we get lower down the list, we'll go from there and see what else we got.
Yeah. So up next in the standings is Vancouver right now. They've played the most games out of the division. They've played 10. They're sitting at 5-5, and they have a net goal difference of 0. They've scored 36 and let in 36. So looking at their stats,
And Hughes.
Quinn Hughes has 10 assists right now. 1 goal as well to go along with that. It looks like their top line is putting up pretty good numbers. They got Quinn Hughes with 11 points, Bo Horvat with 10 points, and Besser with 9 points. He's got 6 goals, 3 assists. But based off where they're sitting in the standings and what their goal difference looks like, it looks like their defense is a huge problem. And if they're going to make it via that 4th, maybe 3rd spot, they're going to have to get that defense under control quick. I don't think Holtby has been as spectacular as he has in the past, and he's kind of been looking like he's aging a little bit. I don't actually know how old he is, but he's 31, so it's not that old, but he's definitely not performing as well as people, I think, thought or hoped he would. So along with the defense, I think he's going to have to step it up if they're going to hope to make that push.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking at Holtby's stats right now. 5 games played. He's 3-2 with a 3.17 goals against average. So not bad to start the season, but it's not great. Eventually think he'll end up turning it around, but it all depends on that defense, like you were saying, Zach. They can be locked down and hold their fort. Holtby will definitely see some change in the stats.
Yeah.
And then especially their backup goalie as well. Demko, he's 5 games as well because they got 10 on the season. He's 2-3 with a 3.65 goals against average. So, like you were saying, defense is the key to make sure those goalies are turning around because, what was it? Demko played in the playoffs last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't he lights out in the playoffs or something like that?
Yeah, he played really well.
Down. Yeah.
Played really well. I think that I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Zach. The problem is I think that they're a one-line team. I think that they rely on their first line. Quinn Hughes is one of their best defensemen, probably is their best defenseman. And I think the biggest he hasn't played in the Western Conference like at all. I mean, I know this technically isn't the Western Conference, but I think the Canadian division is going to be the best division in hockey just based on the fact that it's going to be high scoring. It's going to be best. I mean, there's just going to be. Like rivalries already. I mean, Calgary and Edmonton don't get along, and now Vancouver and Montreal aren't getting along because Tyler Myers went and cheap shotted Armia, and I mean that's just the whole thing. I just think that this is going to be the best division in hockey this year. I mean, even with Ottawa and hopefully the Flames start getting together, and the Oilers do as well. I think Ottawa is the worst division by far. But I think every other team has a shot to get to that 4th seed or even compete higher. I'm not really sure. Vancouver can start clicking. I would say they are a contender. I think the rest of the division is just a little rough compared to them. So I think they'll be that lock at their 4th seed.
All right. So moving on, we have in 5th right now, the Edmonton Oilers. So as expected, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, they're doing very well right now. But other than that, there's like 2, maybe 3 players that are playing pretty decent right now. Nugent Hopkins, he's got 4 goals, 3 assists, which isn't too bad. Let's see, who is it? Darnell Nurse has 1 goal but 6 assists, and that's as a defenseman, so that's not too bad. And then I don't even know who this dude is. Kyler Yamamoto. Never heard of him in my life, but he's got 3 goals, 3 assists. But other than that, nobody has more than 3 points on the team. So they're kind of getting carried by 4, maybe 5 players right now. And if that continues throughout the whole season, I mean, they're just going to stay exactly where they are right now in 5th place. So me personally, I see them as pretenders because I think the same thing happened last year. They kind of got carried by McDavid and Draisaitl. And did they even make the playoffs last year? Or make it past the first round anyway?
Yeah, no,
They lost in the first.
Yeah,
they
so
lost to
round.
was it Chicago. Chicago eliminated them, right?
No, Chicago played
In the preliminary or whatever.
like the
Didn't
play.
Chicago play Vegas the first round? Oh, okay, yeah.
In the first round of
Yeah, I
the
think they
playoffs,
did.
yeah.
So
in
yeah,
that
I
pre-round or
personally have them
whatever.
as pretenders just because I think this is going to continue throughout the whole season. They're going to get carried by 3-4 players, but that's not enough because you need the whole team to play well. So
Yeah, most definitely. I just think we just talked about this with Vancouver is the goaltending, especially in Edmonton. I don't think Koskinen's the guy. I don't think he's ever, since he signed that contract, I don't think he's been the guy since, who was it, who signed him? Who was Chiarelli, I think his name? The Nimwad from
Chiarelli.
Boston. Yeah, the Nimwad from
Yep.
Boston. Guy who just signs long-term deals to guys that don't deserve it, or I don't know, but stats don't prove it, that's for sure. Because he's looking at Koskinen's stats, 3-6, 3 wins, 6 losses with 3.50 goals against average. So I don't know if that relates back to the defense, but I just don't think he is the guy going forward with Edmonton, and I find them as pretenders in this playoffs as well.
yeah, looking at their defensive stats, they have allowed 3.67 goals, which is 27th in the league. They've allowed 33 shots per game, which is 26th in the league. Their penalty kill, I don't know if this is like based off of the lower you are, the better you are, or the lower you are, the worse you are. But their penalty kill percentage is 72.4%. So that I honestly don't know how good that is. And their penalty minutes are 7.6. So like you said, it doesn't seem like their defense is doing very well for them right now. And they're going to have to hope that steps up in the future.
They're like the I mean, if you looked up one line team in the area, I think the Edmonton Oilers would be the definition for that. I feel like McDavid and Draisaitl carry that team. The biggest thing for Edmonton's defense was they lost Clefbaum this year. It was a huge hit. Clefbaum was one of their all-around best defensemen. Losing a guy like that is just going to hurt you every day. I mean, every time you play. I mean, he's a leader in the locker room. He's a great all-around player. I mean, Zach just said it. They're giving up 33 shots per game. I think is that shots against or shots for?
The shots on goal, but I mean,
okay. Well, I'm assuming that it was a negative aspect to their game as what they're giving up a lot of shots.
Yeah.
Clefbaum blocked like I think 150 shots last year in a season. It's just unreal. I mean, they played like 50 some games last year. He probably averaged about 3 block shots a game. I mean, that's 3 block shots that your goalie doesn't have to face. I mean, that's huge. I mean, I think block shots are one of the best defensive for some of these guys. I mean, I think that it just proves you're a well-rounded defenseman. You're not afraid to go and score, but you're not afraid to put your boxing shots for your goalie, and that's huge. I think they're pretenders. I just don't think I could see them going any farther than where they are right now. They'll sit in 5th and 6th, and that's probably about what they're going to be.
Agreed. So in 6th place now we have the Calgary Flames. They are sitting at a goal difference of, they actually have a positive goal difference. They, despite being 2-3-1, so like 2-4 technically, they are 18-17 for goals for versus goals against. So although they haven't scored as many goals as the other teams in the division, they're not giving up that many goals either, it looks like. Maybe. I mean, I'm looking at their games played. They lost 4-3. They ended up getting a shutout against the Canucks. Then they won again. They lost 3-2. So in all of their losses, besides one, they've given up 4 goals. But in their wins, they've won by a margin of 3 goals at least. So, I mean, I guess when they're on, and when they're not, they're just pretty much handed a loss, I guess. But the way this is, and looking at their player stats, I see them as pretenders because they've only got Gaudreau, Monahan, and Lindholm, and Anderson, I guess, putting up points. I mean, Tkachuk has 3 goals and an assist, but you're going to need more from that if you're going to hope to reach the playoffs.
Yeah, most definitely. You look at Gaudreau's stats, or Johnny Hammond role. He's got 8 points leading the way. And then you got Monahan with 7. I don't know. They just need to be clicking, but I just see them as pretenders as well. But I don't know. They have a pretty good defense, don't they? With Giordano, Hannafin.
They signed Tanev this year.
Yeah, Tanev. And then they lost who was the guy that they lost this year? Brody. Brody's probably a big loss for them, and then also with them bringing in Markstrom.
I mean,
Markstrom's
Rasmus
done the job.
Anderson's playing well.
Yeah, yep, exactly, yep. But Markstrom's goals against average 2.62, so I don't know. Maybe Vancouver could have used that. But like Zach said, I had them as pretenders.
I couldn't agree more. I think they are definitely pretenders as well. I think Rittich just played his first game yesterday, I believe, or 2 days ago. I think Markstrom has played the majority of their games, and it's just that's not going to help you. I mean, especially in a shortened season like this, where they're back to back so much, you need to split your goalies a little bit more, and kind of roll with the hot goalie. And you can't play your starter in the game; it's just not going to help you. So, I think they're definitely pretenders as well. I think they really didn't do too much this offseason. I think they just kind of brought in more Vancouver guys, and I don't know if that was a spite thing or what, but they brought in Tanev, they brought in Markstrom. I believe they signed Josh Label as well. That's 3 Canucks right there, and that's kind of all they did. And you lose Brody, you lose. I know they lost Hamonic as well. I just think that they just had too many subtractions and not enough quality additions, I would say.
Couldn't agree more.
Zach's muted.
And then I gotcha. And then we come to the basement team, the Ottawa Senators.
Thank you for that.
Absolutely. But I see the Senators as contenders. No, I'm just teasing.
I was gonna say, you're full of shit. Yeah, so I'm looking at them. They must have a literal brick playing in that, because they've scored 17 and they have allowed 36. So more than twice the amount they've scored. And looking at their roster, they have 3 players sitting at 5 points apiece for the top point getters of their team. And one of them doesn't even have goals. That's just 5 assists. And it looks like they're spreading the wealth pretty well. Like, all but 5 players have at least a point. However, if your top point getter right now compared to the other teams in the division only have 5, it looks like you're struggling, and you're struggling pretty bad, because the top scorer on the team right now is Chris Tierney, who has 3 goals. And as far as I'm concerned, that guy is a nobody compared to some of the other names on this team. So I don't really see them even trying to make a push, not even a late push. So easy pretender for me.
Yeah, I'm with you. Just the stats show it. And like I said earlier, they're a young team. They'll eventually be there. They brought in all those veterans to probably mentor the young kids, try to get that winning mentality. But I don't think it will do this year, but years down the road, they'll definitely be there, but they are pretenders for me as well.
Yeah, I'm the exact same way. I think they're pretenders as well. I just want to touch on something real quick. I think it's quite common. It shows that some players, and it's mostly goalies, are benefiting of their surroundings, and I think that Matt Murray is the biggest case of that. I mean, yes, he went from Pittsburgh, which was a very good, very, very, very good team for many, many years, but he goes to Ottawa, and I mean, this is just unreal. He played 6 games this year. He has 1 win. He has a .859 save percentage, and he's a 4.39 goals against average.
Yeah.
So he's almost giving up 4.5 goals. That's just unreal. And any team, you could score. There's no team that you could have a goalie do that and try to win. It's just not possible. You keep 5 goals a game and win. It's just, and that's where they're gonna get burned. I think that their defense is. I mean, they're just all around, like Zach, like you both said. They're both young. They're young. They're a young team. They're at the basement right now. That's nothing new for. I think that they brought in some of the right pieces this year. I just think that, they're going to do anything this year. I think they're going to be at the bottom, and I think they're going to have to reset again. They're just rolling with the rebuild and going from there. So
hope for the best.
Pretenders.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so that concludes the Northern Division. So I could probably say that we all agree that it's probably going to be the Maple Leafs, Canadiens, Jets, and most likely the Canucks making the playoffs out of there. Maybe Edmonton could sneak into the 4th spot if, they get the rest of the team firing, but I really don't see it happening. So we'll see how it pans out. All right. On to the West Division, where Rat Tim's favorite team, the Golden Knights, sit atop the West Division at 5-1-1. Let's look at some stats here. They've got Mark Stone leading the line with 11 points. He's got 2 goals, 9 assists, and then they have Max Pacioretty with 6 goals and 1 assist. So based off their play right now and the ways they've won, it looks like they've just been getting the job done no matter what, whether it's grinding out a 1-0 win or, kind of flattening the team like they did to the Ducks on opening night, 5-2. One of the losses was in a shootout too, so they kept it close throughout the entire game, and then just came down to luck. And somewhat skill, of course. But the other game they lost was against the Coyotes. They had to play the Coyotes 4 games in a row, which, big rip. But they lost 5-2. But other than that, it looks like they've been playing pretty well.
Yeah, most definitely. I don't know, they're just an overall good team ever since they've came into the league in 2017. They've just been, I don't know, they just wanted to compete right away. But I think the best trade they've ever made in Vegas Golden Knights history was acquiring Mark Stone. Mark Stone is a true game changer for any team. Like, you could tell he was that with Ottawa, especially when they made that run to the Eastern Conference Finals that one year against Pittsburgh, lost in overtime on Game 7. I don't know, but Mark Stone he's just a great player overall. I'm happy they gave him the captaincy. I think he most definitely deserves it. Definitely, you could have gave it to some other guys on the team, but I think Stone's probably the best around the room with the guys, and probably one of the best on the ice for them. But yeah, these guys are definitely pretenders. No, contenders. My bad. And then they're getting good goaltending too. Probably the best goaltending duo tandem in the game with Flenner and Fleury. Anyone want to pull up their stats?
Yeah, I got you. So Leonard right now has 4 games played. What is this? 2.95 goals against, 0.885 save percentage. He's 2-1-1 right now. One of those losses coming in a overtime. And then Fleury is he's played 3 games. He's 3-0. He's got 1 shutout. He's got a .951 save percentage, and he's got 1 goal allowed per game that he's played. So yeah, like you said, they're playing very well right now.
They just have a good team overall. Like you look at their fourth line, you have Reeves, Carrier. I don't even know if that's their fourth line, but you got Reeves and Carrier. They will come up huge when you need them to. It's just like the depth scoring that every team needs to have. But Nicholas, go ahead.
I think that this is my bold prediction for the week because I have to throw it out there like I did last week when I said the Bucks were going to win. And remember, Zach, when you said they weren't going to win?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Go Chiefs.
I think that Marc-Andre Fleury, just based on the schedule that they're going to have, he might win the best this year. Leonard is going to face the team mostly the first time because Leonard's pretty much their starter. Leonard's been getting mostly the first game against the split, and Fleury gets the second game. So Fleury's been playing. I mean, we've only seen him 3 games, but he's given up a goal a game. That's just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, his save percentage runners. It seems like out of all the goalies I looked at stats wise, their save percentage are very low compared to where they would be on a normal season. I don't know if it's the lack of camp or lack of preseason or defenses aren't as good as they used to be. I'm not really sure. A lot of these guys have low 900 save percentages or below 900 save percentage. That's like huge. I mean, I just think that like Zach said, and I mean, they're really good goalies. I think they're the best tandem in the NHL. I don't think many teams can compete with that. I mean, having a 1-2 like that is just unreal. Leonard, I mean, was a Vezina finalist 2 years ago. Last year, he had an awesome season. I mean, Fleury is for himself. I mean, just he's a Vezina winner. He's a Cup winner. I mean, it just goes so much saying that you have him as a backup, and then and then they have a really good offense and defense. It's like, I mean, they're not missing anything. They think that, I mean, they bring in Pietrangelo, and I think Pietrangelo is one of the best defensemen in the NHL. They're all around well-rounded team. They have their stars, but they have their depth as well. It's just, I think they're definitely contender. I think they're a Stanley Cup contender as well. I just think they're going to be fighting everyone to get to the Cup this year.
They're always right there too, especially that first year they're in the league. Like it seems like they've just kept that team when they went on that run to the Cup. But hopefully they'll eventually get there, and Matt Tim will be allowed back on the show.
Will pop out of his
when
pants,
they win the Cup.
all 2 inches of it. All right, so in second in the West Division, the Colorado Avalanche. They are 5-3-0. Looking at their stats, McKinnon obviously doing his thing. Cal McCarr picking right up where he left off. 9 assists already. Rantanen 6 goals, 2 assists, and Burakovsky at 3 apiece. But one thing that's popping to me right now is they have a lot of point getters throughout their lines. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Their top 11 point getters all have 5 or more points. So it looks like throughout their top, probably, if I had to guess, probably 3 lines, they're getting a lot of good production. And similar to last year, I don't really see this stopping too much, so I definitely see them as contenders.
Yeah, I don't even think we can argue on this one. They're all definitely contenders. It's like Vegas. I don't know. They have a good offense, well-rounded offense, especially with the additions they brought in last year. with especially Burakovsky. I think this is his second year on the team. Burakovsky was an absolute stud in Washington, but he didn't get the recognition. Now he's like basically in the same exact position, but he seems like he's producing points and getting the job done. And their goaltending, though, Grubauer's been lights out ever since they brought him over. But yeah, they are definitely contenders to me. They have a well-rounded team.
Not discrediting them by any means because they're a very good team. But I thought honestly they would be doing better than they are right now. I think that and I'm not saying that they're not doing well right now. I mean, they're 5-3, which, isn't awful. I mean, it's pretty good and they're second in the division, but I just think that they would be, blowing teams out. I mean, they're a fast team. Like Zach said, they have so many guys that are above 5 points. I mean, that's just crazy. Well, I don't know. I kind of expected more from Colorado. I know it's really early still. I mean, we're only 3 weeks in the season, I think 2 or 3 weeks in the season. So, it's still early, and I think that they're definitely a team that is going to be in for the long run. I think they're going to be a really good team the whole season. I don't think it's going to be a big shock that they're going to, I think they're going to catch fire and they're going to start going. I think that Zach touched on it well. Burakovsky and Grubauer have been huge adds. I mean, Grubauer has been one of the better goalies that, he was in Washington. He was stuck behind Holtby and they let him go, and now he's a borderline great starter. He's really, the problem, like I was about, I believe I was talking about Markstrom. Their backup hasn't even, I don't think, touched the ice yet. I think Grubauer has played every game. So
I think he's got 1 or 2 of anything, but yeah,
I know that Pavel Francouz has not played all year yet. So I just hope that a lot of these guys, that's the biggest thing with this COVID. You could lose a goal. You could use a guy for, I don't know what the maximum, I think 4 games or maybe 10 days or whatever it is, something like that. Look at Washington. They lose Ovechkin, Kuznetsov, Samsonov, and Orlov for, I think it was 4 games and it turned up being. And that could hurt you. You lose some Stoli, that could really, really hurt you. So I think that they need to start. Colorado needs to, they're doing great. They're doing pretty well. And I think that it'll come more. And I just think that they're definitely contenders. I don't think there's any more way to put it.
Yeah, agreed. All right, so on to third in the West, we have Minnesota Wild. So before we kind of scrap that idea of like we're going to cover a team for the week, so the Minnesota Wild was my team to cover before we decided not to do that. So I wrote some stuff down about them. One player that's impressing me a shit ton right now is Kirill Kaprizov. I'm pretty sure he's a rookie, and he's killing it right now. He has 2 goals, 5 assists, and from some of the highlight videos that I have watched on the NHL YouTube, he's had a good play in all of those videos. So if he can keep producing along with Joel Eriksson Ek, he's producing pretty well right now, and I think his name's Jordan Greenway. Yeah, they're doing pretty well right now. And honestly, they're spreading the wealth a lot throughout the team. Only 2 players have 0 points so far on the season, and those players are respectively getting 4.5 minutes of ice time and 8 minutes of ice time. So right now they're getting pretty good production from the entire team, and in the games they've lost as well, they've only lost 1-0, 2-1, and 5-3. So, I'm sure there's stuff to find in there and dig about, but they haven't lost by that much or like that significantly. Aside from maybe letting in 5 goals, that might be a concern. But that was only, they let in 5 goals in 1 loss. So their team's playing very well right now. And if they keep up exactly what they're doing right now, I don't see them as anything but a contender.
Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I wasn't expecting Minnesota to be where they are right now. But like you were saying, they're sharing the wealth and they're all getting the job done. I don't know. I don't know. It's tough to say because it seems like half the team is all older. So I guess they're giving it one more shot for their money, I guess. Like you look at Parise, you look at Suter. Guys have been in the league forever, especially when Parise started with New Jersey. But yeah, hopefully I like seeing Minnesota do well, and hopefully they can keep it up. And I'm going to say I see them as contenders as well.
I think I hate to be this guy. I just don't.
Man out.
I don't see Minnesota doing this for much longer.
Dude, are you serious?
I've never ever put my money into Cam Talbot, and I will put my money in Cam Talbot ever in a million years. If I ever had to bet towards that man, I would never. I mean, Talbot is just a backup goalie. I'm sorry. I don't think he's good. I mean, I can't say he's not good because he's an NHL player. I think that he's an average goaltender, and average goaltending will get you through the season. You need above average goaltending. And I think that their bright spot has been Krylov. I think he's been absolutely phenomenal. I mean, they've been talking about this kid for 3-4 years now. Ever since they drafted him. They knew that he was over in Russia. They were waiting for him to get out of his contract in the KHL. And finally he decided he was time to the KHL. He's come over here and he's just absolutely took the NHL by storm. I think he's the best rookie in the NHL currently. But I think their spot is Kapu Kahukin. He's their backup goalie. He's played a lot of the bulk of the games for. I mean, I think they both each have, two. I think Kahukin has 3 wins. Talbot has 2, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But I think Kahukin's a pretty good goalie. Helps out that Stalock's hurt right now, so they're down to who gets that time to shine. I just don't know that if you have 3 average goalies, if that's going to get you any farther in the playoffs. And I just think that they're pretenders. Sorry, Zach. I hate to break it to you, but
all right, we'll all go there. We all go there. Let me tell you though, I definitely wouldn't put my money on Vasilevsky. That's for sure.
Alrighty, so
all right, go ahead.
Is the Blues? They're sitting in 4th right now. Sitting in 4th with a negative goal difference. Them and all the teams below them. They've scored 22 and let in 27. I mean, similar to the Wild, they've got a decent amount of guys with at least 2 points throughout the roster. So, I mean, not doing too bad. I did not realize they had Mike Hoffman, who we know can be very good. He's only got 1 goal and 1 assist, but he's also only got about 14 minutes of ice time. So I don't know if he's prepared to play more. Like, I don't know how big of a role he took on in Ottawa and then the Panthers. But honestly, I think the glory run that they went on, 2 years ago now? I don't think they're ever going to get back to that point this season. I think so many of the players that turned up for them that season just haven't been able to replicate the exact same form that they need to if they're going to try and make a good playoff run. Now, that's not saying they don't have good players, because they do, but I don't see them all coherently working together again to get back to that point. So as good as they are, I'll put them as contenders for right now, just because the rest of the division kind of looks like shit. But I feel like there's a chance that somebody could possibly overtake them. But I'll put them at contender for now.
Oh, I don't know. I like St. Louis. I like St. Louis. I think they're contenders. I think they have a good team overall. Like you were saying, the run they went on a couple years ago. I think they got the experience, so they're used to those late trips they can make for the push for the playoffs. Because I don't know if it was the one year where I think they won game 82 or something like that, and it's not coming to the playoffs, or it might be vice versa. I don't know, but
they're like they've always been something like that, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, seems like they're always right there. I think they have a good team with O'Reilly leading the way. Too bad he wasn't on the Sabres still. And of course, my guy, Marco Scandella, still wish he was here for Miss Pro League, but I'd rather take Scandella over Pro League, that's for sure. But yeah, they're a good team, especially like you were saying with Hoffman. Hoffman's a great addition. He's had the experience in Ottawa before he got kicked out of there, I guess, with EK because of EK. But the only thing I hate about St. Louis is the goaltending. Is Binnington. I don't know if Binnington's your guy. He had that one little run that one year when they went to the Cup and he won the Cup, but I just don't think he's the guy going forward, and that's just my take. But they are contenders.
Yeah, I'm not gonna disagree with that. I think they're definitely contenders. While Zach are talking about Mike Hoffman and Riley, I'm talking about Torrey Krug. I mean, they bring in Torrey Krug this year, and that's just absolutely phenomenal. You lose Peter Angelo, which is a huge loss. I mean, he was your captain, he was your leader. He played all around a great game, but Torrey Krug, I think, is equally as skilled and equally as leader as, I mean, in Boston, they made the playoffs. I don't know how many years out of his whole career that he's played for Boston. I just think that he's a great all-around player. Hoffman's huge. Braden Shen's a great center. I mean, they just have, I mean, Jordan Kyrie's been playing well. They have three centers that are just, and O'Reilly, I mean, just up and down the lineup are great. But I kind of have worries about Binghamton sometimes. But other than that, I think that St. Louis is a contender for sure. Will they get as far as they did with the Cup? I don't know. But I think, you know, a pretty solid team all around. I think that they can, like Zach said as well. I mean, they're taking the words right out of my mouth. If they can catch a fire and get hot quick, they can get going, and it's hard to stop them. So.
No, yeah, sorry to pop in here, but you look at their defense. Their defense is amazing. Like with them bringing in Krug, they have Parayko, that Justin Falk addition they had last year. Vinny Dunn's a little sneaker, but they have a good team overall.
Yeah, I've been seeing some reports about they've been talking about teams that should trade for Vince Dunn because I guess he's kind of flying under the radar right now. All right.
Can't forget about Scandella either.
Bring him back to Buffalo. It's the addition we need. All right, so on to the next team. The LA Kings currently sit in fifth with a goal difference of -1. I've got two things to say, and then I'll hand it off to you guys. One, Anze Kopitar is carrying their team with 12 points, which is 6 more than anybody else. And out of those 12 points, one of them is a goal. And the second thing I have to say is pretender. All right. You guys take it away.
Anything else you would like to add?
No, sir.
Are you positive?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. But no, they are definitely pretenders. I think they've been pretenders the last couple of years. They haven't done anything ever since they went on that little dynasty run with them in Chicago, those 3 or 5 years or whatever that was. It's good to see that Kopitar still has game left, but he's eventually getting up there and he'll be calling it quits soon. And then you got Dustin Brown falling away with 6 points. And Drew Doughty, I absolutely love Drew Doughty. Fierce competitor, maintains that offensive defenseman, I guess, gig. But yeah, they really don't have anything. They, like I said, they haven't done anything ever since they went on those runs. They still have Quick back there, who currently has a .354 goals against average. Which is not good. But who knows? Maybe Cal Peterson will be the savior, I guess, because he definitely wasn't the savior in Buffalo, that's for sure. But yeah, they are pretenders to me.
I'm shocked they're doing this well, to be completely honest with you. I honestly would have thought they would have been, winning 1 game or 2 games. That's really about it. I'm really shocked that they're doing this well. I think that I don't know. I'm kind of shocked. I guess not by any means. I'm not saying they're a contender, but I'm not saying they're a contender. Not at all. I think they're definitely pretenders, but I just think that I don't know. They were a team that was like terrible last year, like absolutely terrible. They had just nothing going for them. I guess Anze Kopitar can carry a team, but not to a playoff run. I mean, when you have one guy that scores, the rest are 6 points below you, that's a huge hit. And then your third highest scorer is a defenseman. I don't know. I think they're definitely pretenders. I don't think there's much more to talk about. I think they have too much tied up in 4 players actually. I think they have too much money tied up in Kopitar, who's great. Don't get me wrong. Doughty's great. Don't knock on either of those 2 guys. But Dustin Brown and Jonathan Quick, an extra, I think, like close to $12 million. So between those 4 guys, you're probably looking at about $30-some million. That's a lot of money between 4 guys and 2 that are playing at the top level and 2 that are just god awful. So that's all I got.
Yep, sounds about right.
And
Bless you.
All right, on to 6th, the Anaheim Ducks. So just a fun fact about me, the Ducks are my second favorite team behind the Sabres, actually. Go Ducks! And so I think they are going to catch fire out of nowhere, and they're going to take that 4th spot from St. Louis. Got to support the boys. Not going to lie, looking at their stats, they're pretty garbage right now. But who's to say what happens in the future? Only the maker of The Simpsons. So unless you got him talking to us, I think I'm saying right now they're catching fire, and they are going to make the playoffs in that 4th spot from the West.
Zach, is this your bold statement for the week?
Yeah, this is my bold prediction of the week.
I'm not going to give any of those because I just don't want to. I don't even know. But Nick, you want to take this away because I assume me and you are very similar in this one. I see them as
Zach,
contenders.
I love you and all.
I don't see them as contenders.
Yeah, Zach, I love you, but I just don't see them doing well. I mean, John Gibson is their best player. I mean, don't get me wrong, John Gibson's playing out of his mind, like standing on his head right now. He's been absolutely phenomenal. But there's like nothing in Anaheim. I mean, there's Ryan Getzlaf, Ricard Raquel, and I mean their defense is probably their best part of their game. So, but other than that, I definitely think they're pretenders. Sorry, Zach.
If you've never used Adam Henrique in NHL career mode, then you don't know how good he is. All right.
You just look at their scoring. I'm sorry, Nicolas Delorier is 4th. 4th. Like I love D'Lo, but come on, he shouldn't be 4th on the team with points.
That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying they're gonna catch fire.
Still,
and you're gonna see a bunch of players leapfrogging.
Leapfrogging.
Nope.
All right, so they are pretenders in all of our heads.
Sure. Right. 7th,
I'm just
we have
joking.
the Arizona Coyotes, or as Matt likes to sound all professional, the Arizona Coyotes. Fuck off, Matt. Yeah. All right. Amen, brother. So they're sitting in 7th at 3-4-1. They have a few players that have 5 or more points. Clayton Keller with 4. He's got 2 goals, 2 assists. Honestly, I could see them potentially, picking it up and possibly getting into that 4th spot. I guess I'll say more of a chance than the Ducks. However, I just feel like with the teams above them, I feel like there's a high distinction between the top 4 teams in the division right now and the bottom 4 teams. And the only thing I see changing out of those teams really is just the order in which they finish. I don't really see like the top 4 and the bottom 4 changing. So, maybe they could finish 5th, but the Kings and everyone below them, I just see them the way they're playing right now. The Sharks are a decent team, but they're also at the bottom of the division right now. So they've got some shit to figure out as well. So, the way they're playing right now, I'm just going to simply put the Coyotes as pretenders.
I don't know. I think Arizona has we'll just call them Phoenix. Phoenix has a really good team. I kind of see them as contenders, but I think their goaltending needs to be legit. I don't know who the hell. Kemper. I don't know. Kemper had a good run
And
last year. And Ranta. So, and once OEL gets back from injury, I know he's out on the IR right now because he's hurting in all my fantasy leagues. Can't use him, but I think they have a good team. Their defense is really good. They got the experience with the playoffs, especially having Hot Dog Phil there, only having 5 points. And then you got Brassard. Brassard was on that team with Ottawa when they made that trip to the playoffs that one year. And they got Gologowski. Gologowski's been around. Nick Schmaltz has been around. I don't know, young team. And of course, you can't forget about the Hedgehog, Mr. Johan Larsson.
Larry.
But yeah, I see them as contenders. So maybe my take with Minnesota, maybe flip-flop with Arizona and Minnesota.
All right.
This division is so bad. Do I have to pick 4 teams to be contenders?
No.
Honestly, I looked at this and I'm like, yeah, the Knights and Avalanche are good. They're literally good. I mean, I don't think the Wild are going to be that good, but I mean, I think they might be better than the Coyotes. I just think that the Wild might be. I mean, I'm not changing my view. I think they're still pretenders, but I mean, the Coyotes are going to be led by their defense and goaltending, like Zach said. Their scoring's not great. I mean, Phil Kessel, Clayton Keller's pretty high spots. I mean, I know they have Christian Dvorak, Christian Fisher, Connor Garland, guys. They're just kind of average guys that aren't going to wow you with anything. So I know they're hurting with Ekman Larson, but Jacob Chikrin has stepped up big time in his absence. I know Chikrin has been playing really, really good hockey. It's another team where they'll probably be 4 fighting with the Wild, maybe fighting with the Ducks if Zach's dreams come true. But I just think that's
water.
I think that they might be contenders. I'm not getting a serious answering because I just don't know what they're going to do. So,
all right, on to the final
Last
team.
but not least.
In the basement of the West, we have the Sharks. I think surprisingly at the bottom. I don't know how you guys think about that. Surprising for me anyway. Yeah. I would not expected them to be there. Looking at their player stats, I mean, they're not playing terribly. I mean, they have Tomas Hertl with 7, Logan Couture with 6, and then they have 4 players on 5 points, including Mr. Not Money in the Bank, Evander Kane. So, I mean, as long as they can I think looking at their stats right now, their big issue is their goalies right now. They have literally got 2 pieces of cheese sitting in net each time they start somebody. They've got Dubnyk, who has allowed, I think if I'm reading the stat correct, he's allowed 12, and Martin Jones has allowed 17. So that's a big yikes, because what it looks like from here is they're just flip-flopping their goalies, hoping one of them's going to step up, and he doesn't. So then they resort to the other one, and they're just interchanging back and forth and not performing. So honestly, in all seriousness, I think they could actually make a push for that 4th spot, considering it's still early in the season. However, the only way that's happening is if their defense and their goaltending gets better. And that's all I have to say.
Yeah, like you were saying, goaltending is a problem in San Jose. I think this would be a great goaltending tandem, maybe in 2016. Be like your Knights and it'd be like your Knights now, I guess. Definitely you want to have Dubnyk and Jones in 2016, but I don't know about now. But it's just like another team like the Kings. They really haven't moved much. It seems like they just try to keep the same players and they just try to, I guess, reload or furlough, just try to build up. But I see them as pretenders. I don't think they're going to make a run, but who knows with their goaltending? If their goaltending gets hot, watch out, especially on the shortened season. One of them could just catch fire like the Sabres did that one year on that 10-game winning streak. But who knows? But pretenders.
I think like they're like the other California team in LA. They have too much money in little players and like 4 or 5 players. I mean, it's just asinine how much money they've given some of these guys. I mean, you bring in Dubnyk. I mean, he was not cheap. I mean, Minnesota retained half his salary, which was helping San Jose. But they have Martin Jones, who's looking at $5 million. Brent Burns, who's $8 million.
Evander Kane, they just signed.
Who's $6 million. Evander Kane was $7 million. I know.
Erik
I think Hurdle
Karlsson.
comes up in 2 years. Carlson makes crazy money. Logan Couture makes crazy money. Timo Meyer got a raise a couple of years ago. Kevin LeBlanc got, I think, $4.5 million. There's just a lot of money tied up, and that doesn't help you with your depth players. So it looks like a lot of what San Jose is doing is calling up guys from the minors or signing guys to minor small deals to hopefully play your third and fourth line, and that's not going to get you any farther. I'm going to say they're pretenders for sure. I just don't see them going anywhere. I think there's too many issues there. There's too many question marks. Just not going to happen.
Well said. Well said. Definitely.
Agreed.
It seems like they just build the top 6 and they don't really care about the bottom 6.
Right.
All right. So what are we doing now?
All right. So now we will move on to what were you gonna say? Sorry, Nick.
Can I touch on something that just happened past couple days in the NHL news? Pittsburgh fires Jim Rutherford.
He resigned.
Resigned. Yes, that's right. He resigned. I read a report. I don't know how much truth it is because there's a bunch of different reports out right now. But what I read was that wanted to trade Chris Letang. He had a deal in place to move Chris Letang to start a rebuild. Mario Lemieux, who I believe is their owner, or he has something to do with Pittsburgh, higher up than the general manager. Lemieux blocked that trade. He said that he wants Letang, Crosby, and Malkin to retire Penguins. Like I said, this is just a report from an insider I've read about. I don't know how much truth there is to this, but Pittsburgh's on a downward slope. We talked about this last week. There's too many. They're just getting old. They're building their top 6 up. I just want your take on what you guys think about this all, and I mean, what do you think Pittsburgh should do going from here on out now?
I mean, I don't know, like obviously nearly as much as you guys do, and if Matt was here, I'm sure he'd have a lot of good input to give as well. But from what it seems like, and this is kind of what Tyler chimed in on last time too, they've been rolling with their top players for a long time now. And just for me personally, as like a lower hockey fan, I guess, a lower level hockey fan, it doesn't really seem like they've tried to bring in that much good youth talent, or like they haven't really tried to develop anybody to, kind of replace Crosby and Malkin and those players when they leave. And now you can see it's kind of biting them in the ass because it doesn't really look like they've made any moves to try and keep that consistency going into the playoffs going. And from here, honestly, looking at it, I feel like it's not that unrealistic to say Pittsburgh should start looking to go towards a rebuild mode, honestly.
Yeah, no, I agree. But like Nick was saying, it seemed like with Hang, there was a deal in place and Lemieux blocked it because those 3 have to retire as Penguins, which I don't know, maybe they all won cups, so maybe they should just try to, I don't even know where the hell I'm going with this, but they definitely need to start a rebuild, that's for sure. And like you were saying, it's like they're just bringing in pieces to see if they can click. Like they're like New England, they just try to keep furloughing the process. They're not getting those top draft picks. They're just trying to bring in old first round picks, hoping they will bring the job together. And definitely is not going the right way with them in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and
so we'll have to see.
Yeah, and just to touch on that point of if it is true to the reports that he blocked the trade just because he wants him to retire a Penguin, you can always let the guy go and go somewhere else. And then I don't know if they do this in the NHL, but you could just sign him to like a 1-day contract if that's a thing, and then just retire him after that. So that way he technically was on the team still.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you could even try to get something for these 3 pieces and then have them come back as for a 1 day. But
exactly,
they already won their cups, so they're happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to say one more thing. Touching on Zach's thing about New England. Pittsburgh's just trying to bring in anything that'll click with Crosby.
Yep.
I mean, and Rodriguez, who played with the Sabres, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Rodriguez. He's a really talented player. He played well in college. I just don't think that his hockey game has transferred from college to the NHL. I mean, he played a lot with Eichel. Him and Eichel are good friends. He really didn't do much for the Sabres, and he comes to Pittsburgh, plays in the top line with Crosby. He did well for the first couple of games, gets hurt. He's out long term now, and it's just tough. And the thing is, you want to do a rebuild in Pittsburgh, the thing is, you think that keeping these three guys are going to help, but it's just hurting the fans. That's really what's going to happen the most. I mean, obviously it hurts. We're all Sabres fans. You know, it hurt when we got rid of Breer and Drury. We let them walk. We didn't even trade them for anything. We just let them walk away. That killed the Sabres fans a lot. But you hurt. Yeah, I mean, you let guys walk, it hurts. You trade them for something, you know, at least you get something in return, kind of more, you know, more rewarding. You get a new player, new face in town. The last thing I had to say was they don't have a first round pick this year. They traded him for Jason Zucker. So let's start a rebuild yet because you don't even have your first round pick. So if you want to be bad this year, you don't want to be because you don't have your first round pick. So if say Pittsburgh's a terrible team this year and, you know, they get a top 5 pick, Minnesota gets that pick. You're not even getting that pick because I believe they deferred it already 1 year because Zucker they traded for, I think 2 years ago it was, or maybe last year.
Yeah.
So they pushed that pick back already once. So I think they might have the option to take it this year or next year. I'm not quite sure. No, it might be. I think this is the last option. Pittsburgh's in some trouble. That's all I had to say. I just wanted to touch on that real quick.
But the one addition I did like with them bringing in was Kapanen. I think Kapanen is a good player. He proved it in Toronto.
Oh, absolutely.
If the cap situation in Toronto wasn't bad, Kapanen still would be up there. I was talking with actually Rat about this earlier with Andreas Janssen. Andreas Janssen would still be up north. They're both good players, but they had to get rid of them because of cap situations. But that is all I have. But it's a good topic to bring up, especially with what happened this week with Pittsburgh. Zach, Mr. Host, take it away.
Alrighty, so now we're going to move on to the second topic. We're going to be rating all of the reverse retro jerseys that came out prior to the season starting. Let me see if I can get you guys' camera in here. One sec. Okay, I don't know what I did, so sick. Let me just stop sharing real quick. Make sure I don't fuck anything up.
Whoa, QPP, man.
I just want to make sure that the camera is, you know, available. I don't think it might not be available with if I'm gonna try and go full screen.
I think it's just gonna jump to whoever's talking.
Well, my problem is I think because it's recording now, I don't think it's possible for me to have the cameras up.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I guess you guys everyone's just gonna have their voice in here. So, you know, oh, there we go. Hold on. Oh, perfect. Okay, yeah. So now it'll just jump to whoever is talking.
Sounds good. Cool.
All right, so I guess we'll just go down the list, left to right, top to bottom. So first, starting off, we have Ottawa's reverse retro jersey. Devin, feel free to chime in on this as well. I know this isn't too.
On your screen.
This isn't as involved. Is it sharing or no?
No.
Okay, hold on. Let me reshare it then. Hold on. How do I? There we go. Okay. Share screen. All right, and now I think it's just going to be your guys' voices.
That's fine.
All right, sounds good.
All right, so, you know, hopefully everyone picked up on the voices and knows who's who. But let me just reiterate. So starting off, we'll go with the Senators reverse retro. I'll let you guys start. Devin, feel free to chime in. What do you guys think about this one?
No, I like it, but I just think it's very similar to what they did this year with that making that New Jersey or their new logo, I guess. Basically very similar to their home jersey, I guess. But I don't know where I'd rank it. Not really good at ranking stuff. On my personal opinion, I just basically just go with the flow and just go wherever else someone wants to put it. I'll go with it. So I don't know who wants to take charge on that.
I think I'd put that in C. Like Zach,
it's not as good. It's not as good as it can be.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
D for Canada. I like it.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it's pretty simple. Like, don't get me wrong, it is a clean look, but it just doesn't scream like, wow, look at that jersey. It's just a jersey. So I think that's fair. All right, on to the second, the San Jose Sharks. I'll just start off by saying I think this is not very attractive, to be honest. I don't really like the gray. I don't think it goes well with their color scheme. The logo is very good, and I think the layout of the jersey is pretty good, but I think that with this teal turquoise stripe at the bottom, I feel like there's got to be either a small black or white stripe accent above it. I don't know. It just kind of looks weird to me, especially.
Yeah, it just kind of looks bland. Like at the bottom, definitely.
It is like a Walmart jersey. That's what I would.
Yeah, I don't like it either. I just wish it would have been black, what they did back in the past.
Mm-hmm.
If it would have been black, I think it would have been definitely up there. But get rid of it. Get rid of it.
Definitely a D tier then.
I give that a D.
Yeah, goodbye.
Yeah.
All right, on to the Predators jersey. Personally, I think this looks pretty cool. The only change that I think it would look even better with is if they did the old Predators logo and maybe went more of like the mustard yellow route. But other than that, I think the jersey's pretty clean. What do you guys have to think about it?
Yeah, I think it's clean as well. But like you were saying, I wish they would have done the old Predators logo. So I'm like right with you on that one. I don't know where you want to rank it though. If anyone else wants to chime in.
I'm pretty biased. I hate Nashville's jerseys altogether. I just think they look awful. I guess this one, yeah, like I definitely say the best jerseys they've ever had are the old logo with third. That's about it. I mean, I would give that, I don't know. I guess how it looks, I'd give it a C, but how much Nashville a D.
So I guess, is it fair to say that this one at least looks better than Ottawa, or do we think it looks worse than Ottawa's?
Oh, definitely better than Ottawa.
All right, so then we'll put that there. All right, up next, the Rangers. Personally, I think I do like this logo. However, with the dark blue, I don't like this jersey at all.
Really? I think this one's one of the best they've ever made.
I do too.
So I'm going all the way up top.
Yeah,
I agree with that as well.
I just like the Lady Liberty there. I don't care about the colors. Just the Lady Liberty logo is probably one of the best logos they've ever had.
Exactly.
You could have made that purple and I'd put that up top.
Yeah.
Didn't they do that though?
They've done that before, so they brought it back, and I like that. I like that they did that a little bit different.
All right, we'll do a majority rule pre-factor for this vote, just so like there's no ties, and if there is a tie, well, fuck you for making a tie. So what are you free rating it then? Did you say
A?
It would definitely be a contender for an S.
Yeah, I'd say an A because
I feel like it would be a definite contender for an S. It's definitely A. It's definitely A.
Definitely an A.
Zach?
S. No,
it's definitely a contender for an S.
All right,
keep it there. Yeah, keep it there.
All right, so on to the Minnesota Wild North Star scheme. Personally, after watching a video last week about these jersey ratings, this jersey does look like a Sprite can. I can't unsee it now. I do like the color scheme. However, I feel like it would look a lot better if they didn't have the Wild logo there, if they actually had the North Stars logo.
Agreed.
And for that reason, I'm going to put it as a C because, the colors can be sick, but like we just saw with you guys rating the Rangers jersey, you love it because of the logo. And I don't love this jersey because of the logo. I think the colors are cool, but the logo is not.
Logo is definitely a make or break for a jersey.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you were saying, Zach, definitely if it was the North Stars logo, definitely would probably be up there. But I would personally give it a B because I love the colors of that, and because it's got that North Star texture to it or color to it. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
All right, so we got 1B, 1C.
Yeah. It's definitely better than Nashville, in my opinion.
Is
Not
that a
gonna
B
lie.
vote?
Yeah.
The deal breaker.
Nick? Don't be that ass.
I'm going to be the easy one this time. I'm going to go B. I think it's a really nice. Like was said, I think that in North Star, I think it'd be borderline A, but I like the way that looks. I think it's really sharp. I think it looks really nice. I like that a lot.
Yeah. All right. On to the St. Louis Blues. So personally, I love the color scheme and I like their actual retro more than this reverse retro color scheme. However, I still think that the colors go very, very well together, and I personally think this is an A-tier jersey.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. I'll agree with you on that one.
Yeah, I'm definitely an A as well.
We agree on something.
Easy money, baby. All right, on to the Calgary Flames jersey with a logo that I have literally never seen in my life. And I hope to God I never have to see it again because it is not a cool logo, and I can't even tell if that black is trying to be black or if it's trying to be like charcoal or something. I don't even know what the hell it's trying to be, but I think Calgary had one job and one job only, and that was go back to like their 1980s colors, and they just didn't do it. So this jersey is a D tier for me.
You're absolutely disrespecting that logo. I honestly, in my opinion, I do like the logo.
The logo's awesome.
Yeah.
The logo's awesome.
I love the logo.
Oh my God.
I think we're all disagreeing with you on this one, Zach.
I do like the color scheme as well, which I would say this is a contender for A. Like, I feel like it's up there.
Jeez.
This is definitely an A. I'm putting this over the and in between the Rangers there. I think this is definitely an A without a doubt.
Zach?
Yeah, I agree. I liked how they basically brought their old colors back from last year because they did actually change their color scheme this year to the old 1980 or whatever you were saying, Zach.
Yeah.
So I'm happy they still have that, I guess, that old color with it, but that logo is absolutely fire.
I guess I just like the retro look too much because I wanted them to go back to like what they have this year with just the red, yellow, and white, and I wanted the Atlanta Flames logo, but can't get everything.
That would have been really cool, though. Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, on to the Islanders jersey. Personally, I don't think there's much that they could have done, and for that reason, I don't think there's that much to say. I'm just going to put this jersey at the bottom of C tier.
I would agree with that.
I wish they would have done a fisherman. The fisherman would have been
that would have been
that's
sick.
what I was.
But yeah, I agree.
I was hoping that was gonna be him.
C or D, whatever works.
Yeah, we'll put it right there. All right, on to the Dallas Stars. I think this jersey actually looks very clean. The only thing I wish they would have done is, you can't really see it too well here, but I wish they would have done some sort of outline on this like symbol here so that way it's more defined. It kind of gets lost in all the white of the jersey. However, I do think it looks pretty clean, so I would personally put it at the top of C tier.
I do like the design, how the actual star goes from the torso and actually adds on to the arm. I love that a lot. Definitely at the top.
The only thing I wish they would have changed is the gray that says stars.
Yeah.
Like I wish they would have went back to like that old color, I guess. That old color that they used to use when they made it to the final.
When they had like Marty Turco and stuff like that.
Yeah. Just the outline of the star. I don't think the gray.
Yeah,
goes with that,
I could agree with that. So top of C then.
Yeah.
All right. Up next, the Mighty Ducks. All right. I'm going to try and take my bias out of loving the Ducks. but this has got to be at least an A tier.
I would agree. Honestly, like this is like literally like the definition of retro, going back to obviously like the movies and all of that. And I feel like it would be A, at least.
I don't know if it is A, but I love the jersey, but I just think it's like a cartoon look. Like a cartoon
Somebody's
theme.
gonna say that.
But I absolutely love the jersey though.
Yeah, I'm going A as well. There's not much more.
But yeah, go A. But
I think this is
themed.
one of the best jerseys they put out this year, I think.
Yeah, agreed. All right, on to the next, the Blue Jackets jersey. I love everything about this jersey except for two things. One, I think there's a little too much red. And if I had to say anything in it, I'd either say like add in maybe a slight blue line accenting between the white and the red up at the top. Or I would say just make the red a slightly like darker shade. And the second thing is I wish instead of that logo, they used the like the literal B. I think that would have looked a lot cooler in the middle. However, despite that, I still think that this is a B tier jersey.
I'm good with that. I'll agree with you on that one.
I agree as well.
All right, up next, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Honestly, I don't know about you guys, but there's not much to say. I just think this is a C tier jersey for the same fact that Ottawa is a C tier jersey. It's just very generic. There's not really much that they could have changed, and that's why I would put it there.
Yep, I'm with you on that one.
Couldn't agree more.
Perfect. Up next is the Arizona Coyotes. I feel like a lot of people don't like this jersey just because of the colors that are in it. However, I think this jersey's sick. I like that whole like desert design they put at the waist, and the way they have this coyote head in the middle. I think it just looks really cool altogether as a unit, and I think this is a top of B tier / mid A tier jersey.
Anyone want to chime in on that?
Yeah, I'm going top tier all day. This is one of the best jerseys they put out in the reverse retro.
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right. Up next, the New Jersey Devils. I know everyone hates the Christmas jerseys, but I just think this is a really clean look. Obviously, the Devils have only ever had one logo, so they couldn't really do anything with that in regards. However, I think that the colors, in my opinion, I don't know why, but I just think they do go well together, so I think this is a B tier.
It does look visually pleasing just to look at the jersey.
Yeah,
I think
really
this is a.
Go ahead, Nicholas.
I think this is a B, just based on the fact that, like you were talking about, Toronto and Ottawa and the Islanders, for example, it couldn't do much with these, but the Devils did something different and did something that worked, and that Christmas colors definitely always worked for them, and I like that. So I'd say B as well.
All righty.
Yeah.
On to the Winnipeg Jets. In my opinion, they got this jersey wrong completely. They definitely should have went back to the old retro jersey, and they definitely should have went back to the old retro colors. And for that reason, I think this is a D tier.
Yeah, I don't like the color scheme. I just don't like the gray, the gray and the blue. But yeah, I'm going with you, the lower tier or whichever tier you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely
Nicholas?
agree with D.
Yeah,
You're a big little Winnipeg fan, but
I'm going with D as well. Yeah, I like the Jets old logo, so I like that logo a lot. But I think they should have went something white or the red or like a powder blue or something.
Yeah, agreed.
I think a white
Different.
jersey would have looked fire.
Yeah, I think so as
next,
well.
the Philadelphia Flyers
Ugh.
for
I'd
the
go
same
C.
reason.
I'd go C. They can't do much like all these
Yeah.
other teams.
I was thinking the
Yeah.
exact same thing.
I think the next three are the exact same way, to be honest with you.
Yeah, honestly.
I don't know though. I don't know.
I would
That
argue
Montreal
2 out of the
jersey,
3 belong in C. So
I'd say
definitely-
Montreal's got to be higher.
I would
Definitely
Red Wings and
here.
the Flyers.
Definitely
No,
here.
no. That is D. That is D. Detroit is D. I'm sorry. Dude, that looks like a practice jersey.
You know, I'm gonna fight with you. I'm putting this in D as well.
I guess so.
All right, but still better than the Jets. Okay.
Two should be the next 2 should be up there. I'm
All
sorry.
right. So Montreal, me personally, I think this is at least a B tier. Similarly
I'm
to a
with
lot
you.
of teams on this list, they couldn't do much, and the way Montreal reversed their colors. I think this jersey looks beautiful. So for that reason, I'm
I
putting it
agree.
at least a B, and I'm willing to upgrade if anybody else thinks so.
I feel like it's like at the exact same level as the Devils jersey. Like it's visually pleasing, but you can't do much with it.
That's fair.
No, I agree with you, Zach. I like how they just flopped their colors, and I don't know. I think the jersey looks a lot cleaner than their actual uniform set or whatever,
Yeah,
the ones
agreed.
they've had for a couple years.
All right. Up next, the Panthers. I also
F.
really like this jersey.
Sir.
Similarly.
All the way to the top.
S tier, you think?
All the way to the top. That logo is one of the best logos that ever in the game.
Oh my. Whew. Nick,
The
what do you
logo they have now, dude, it looks like they're in the military.
I'm gonna pull my bias out of it because as a Tampa Bay fan, I've watched them in Florida score with that jersey too many times on Tampa. Now that Florida sucks, it's a little bit easier to watch that team. I wouldn't say it's at the top tier,
Yeah, agreed.
but I would say it's a low A to a high B. I
Yes,
think it's more so closer to
I
an
was-
A because I think it fits in
A.
that range of categories.
I was gonna argue it's a high B, but if the majority says low A, then I will put it at low A.
Yeah, low A.
Alrighty.
As much as it's gonna hurt Zach, I think it's
I'm gonna go cry myself to sleep now.
All right, on to the Vegas Golden Knights. Personally, I would say this jersey is no higher than a B tier. I kind of like the colors, but the logo is just not it in the middle. It's just this giant fat logo in the middle of a relatively plain jersey. And for that reason, I think it's a low B to high C.
I would definitely agree. It's literally just 2 swords and like
And a star in the middle.
and I guess you could call that a star, but
It's a star. No, I'm not even gonna say that. But yeah, no, I'm with you. They couldn't have done much because they've only been in the league for 3 years. I think they probably could have maybe they could have put Rat Tim's face on there and maybe would have made it 100% better.
Rat Tim's face with a top hat on.
my personal opinion is, and that's fine if you put it in because be upset about it. I think this should be a D because I believe that Vegas shouldn't have got a reverse retro jersey. What are they reversing the retro to? They didn't have anything before this.
So it's like
Agree.
right
So
I like that.
and then they get an alternate gold jersey.
No,
I
I'll
mean,
go after
you can put
Philly.
it B. I'm
After
not going to
Philly.
be bothered. Just
Ooh. I'm all right with that.
I just think that they didn't deserve a reverse retro jersey.
every
Agree.
team needs to have a reverse jersey. Every team.
And that was the problem. Everybody gets a medal too. That's the problem.
Yeah.
with this world nowadays. I'm not getting into that, but that's the problem is they shouldn't have got one.
Yeah. All
Next
right,
two,
on to
top level notch.
All right, no, I'm gonna have to disagree with you right there.
Oh my gosh.
Listen. Okay, I could see the Whalers jersey being at an A tier, but I mean, let's be realistic. Carolina was only ever going to do a Whalers jersey as their reverse retro. And in all honesty, this jersey would look way cleaner if it wasn't this off-white gray, if it was just a literal white color. But then at that point, it's literally just the old Whalers jersey. So, I mean, like, they did good in reversing the colors, but I mean, I just can't help but wonder how cool it would have looked if they did Carolina's colors for the Whalers jersey, or if they did Carolina's jersey with the Whalers colors.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that, but I just think it's one of the best reverse retro jerseys they've come out, even though it has their old colors. So I'd probably put that up at the maybe A mark. I don't know where in the A mark.
Yeah, I would put it right here in between these two at A.
Yeah, but you look at the Sabres jersey. They went back
No. We'll get to the Sabres. There's a reason these people that made this list put it last.
I was going to bring up the Sabres here because they went back to they kept that new color. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe like Carolina could have done that, but wherever you're going with it, I don't know if Nick wants to chime in.
I'm going to put it here. Yeah, I want to hear
chime in.
hear Devyn and Nick speak. I'm willing to put it here, but I want to hear what they have to say.
I don't know how I feel about the jersey. Not gonna lie. First impression's not really that impressed, but then again, I'm not really that big of a hockey fan. But I would agree, but I don't think it's higher than Rangers.
Nick?
So that's fine if you're gonna put it where the Rangers are. I'm not too bothered by it. I think, like I said with the Coyotes, I think the best jerseys they put out this reverse retro. They couldn't go white or green with the Whalers colors because it's just a retro jersey. They went gray. They changed it up, made it look totally different. I absolutely love it. I think it's awesome. I think they did a great job with it. Like Zach said, maybe switch the colors. But if you're switching the colors, then you're literally doing what Minnesota did, and people didn't like that jersey. So I don't know where you're going to kind of get help there. But I'm cool with it being an A.
All right. Up next, okay, the way you guys reacted to this sounds like you love this.
Just put it up there. Just put it up there.
I think this jersey does not look good.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my God!
Jersey.
This is collusion, man.
Good.
This is biased. This is biased.
What is it at like the very bottom of the jersey? What are those?
It's fleur de lis, which is it's like it's a French symbol. I forget what it means. It's flower of something. I want to say flower of life, but I feel like that's fleur de vie, I think. But let me check.
The background of this jersey is they're the Quebec Nordiques. That is where this jersey came from.
Yeah.
So Quebec, obviously a major French-speaking city, so there is the fleur de lis. And I think this is a top-tier jersey. There's nothing else to debate about. This is a top-tier jersey.
I agree 100% with Nicholas Pollock over there.
Damn.
From the 585 to the 716.
I just think it's awesome.
As you.
All right, Devyn.
It looks absolutely amazing.
That is an S.
I do like the symbol at the bottom. I feel like
fleur de lis means lily flower.
It's definitely different than the rest of the jerseys.
Yeah.
That would definitely put it up in my book that it's up there, but
damn. I guess
Sneak it up to the yes.
It's going here.
Thank you.
All right. On to the Oilers. I just think this is a clean-looking jersey. I don't really think it's that ugly, but thank the Lord they didn't put the oil drop in the middle.
Oh, I wish they would have put the oil drop in the middle.
That would have looked ugly as fuck. So I think this is a low B.
It sounds good. Go with it.
Yeah, I think it's the same as the Canadians and the Devils. They really couldn't do much with it, but I appreciate the change they did.
All right.
Pittsburgh, up top.
No. There is one thing preventing Pittsburgh from being at the top, and that is the logo. They could have done one of so many different Penguins jerseys logos, and they didn't even put the penguin in the middle. Where is the Robo Penguin?
I don't care. That is
again disrespecting the logo.
Go-to logo back in the day was Pittsburgh across the chest. That has my top notch.
They need the Robo Penguin in the middle for this to be an S tier.
No.
No. You respect the name on the front.
This is an A tier.
All right, top A tier then.
Yeah, like very top A tier.
The first one. There you go.
All right. Tampa Bay. Nick, I'll give your team props. Yeah, they did well.
Nick, take it away.
All right, yeah, Nick.
Nick, take it away.
To be completely honest with you, I like the jersey. I don't love it.
Ooh.
I thought they could have done a little bit differently with this. I don't know how I feel about it, to be completely honest with you. I think they just they pretty much, if they really wanted to do something different, they just really, if you look at the Storm jersey from Tampa with the lightning bolts down the arms, and you look at this jersey, they're pretty comparable. I like the jersey a lot, don't get me wrong. I think it's a B tier. I think they could have done a little bit something different. That's my only problem.
I'm willing to put it at B tier. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm with that.
Top B or mid B? What do you think?
I think it's a mid.
Yeah.
I think it's behind Columbus
feel
and
like-
between the Devils.
Yeah.
I'd say it's above Columbus, but all right, if that's what we're saying, I'd say right there. Okay. Up next.
See,
to the
I love Columbus's jersey because
Oh.
it reminds me of Rick Nash when he's just absolutely insane. Rick Nash Columbus jersey. That's why I love that jersey.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. On to the Capitals jersey. I think they did pretty well on this jersey. They took the old jersey where they had like the white and the light blue on it, and they put that logo and that design onto their current colors. I think it looks pretty good personally. I think this is a high B.
I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm with you. I
Yeah.
thought they did
I
a
would
good job with
definitely
it.
agree with that as well.
Easy enough.
Love how they put the new colors on it, or the new colors, not the new colors, but
Yeah.
colors
All
they've had
right.
for a couple years.
So I have a feeling this one's either going to be mixed or unanimous, but I think Vancouver did it wrong. I think they needed to go to the black, red, and yellow jerseys where they had the Vancouver with the skate on the middle and the front. And I think they thought that the gradient would be new and like hip and people would think it's really cool. However, they really reverse retroed absolutely nothing. They just changed the design and the way the colors faded on the jersey.
I would agree.
Yeah, I agree.
I thought I don't like the
Wait.
jersey. I thought they could have went to maybe the hockey stick in the middle.
Yeah, I've heard
But
that.
that one would have looked a lot cleaner. But
So
wherever you guys want to put it, I'm with
I'm
it.
down to put it low C.
That's fine with me.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
As long as it's better
I
than
think they did the gradient.
What are you gonna say? Okay. On to the third from last, the Bruins. I think this jersey actually looks kind of sleek. However, instead of this B logo in the middle, I feel like they should have went with the bear.
Gotta go the Pooh Bear.
Yeah.
I don't know. I personally like the Boston jersey. I just like how white the yellow is. You're thinking Bobby Orr jersey right here. You're thinking Bobby Orr when you see this jersey. With how
I
bright
agree.
that yellow is in that logo, I don't know. I like that jersey. I think it's higher. It's got to be higher than Dallas and maybe around New Jersey, I would say. But
Yeah, that's what I was
that's
thinking.
just
Like
my opinion.
mid-tier, mid to high B tier.
That's just my opinion.
I think the thing that kills it about that jersey is the ugly bear on the.
Yes.
If you take a look at it and go look at their reverse retro jersey, go take a look at one of the shoulders. Not sure which one it is,
The bear.
but that bear
Ugly looking bear.
is absolutely gross.
Ugly.
The worst bear I've ever seen in my life.
So we feeling like here then?
Go with that.
fair?
I
Yeah,
definitely want to look at the bear though.
Yeah. Alrighty. Second from last. I mean, come on. This has to go here.
Yes,
I
100% agree.
could not agree more.
This has
Holy
to go.
cow,
here.
we all
You know,
agree.
I'm putting it
We all
here.
agree.
I'm putting it there. That's better than the abs.
No.
Better than the abs.
no.
Better than the abs.
All right, sounds good. You have the control of the mouse, so
That's right.
your
bitch.
play.
All right, this one. I would love to put it here, but there is one thing stopping that, and that is the goat head. Sabres
Yeah, I knew
fans
that was
want the
coming.
goat head. Sabres fans need the goat head, but Sabres fans are not getting the goat head. So I'm putting it here.
Hey, they got
No
the
way.
goat head. They got
No
the goat
way.
head. They got the goat head, but it's on the shoulder.
Yeah, not the main.
No, I like that jersey. I like how they brought the old way back. I know it's a little biased here, but they brought the old jersey back when we had like Briere, up and again off, all those
Butter
people.
knives.
I just love how they changed that color, made it go to the royal blue we are now. But Nick, where would you rank this?
That would be top 3, that would be right behind Colorado. That's where I would put that. Without a doubt, that is one of the best jerseys they put
Really,
out.
I thought you were gonna put it lower. I'm willing to put it up here without a doubt. I thought you were gonna go lower. That's
I
why
think that's an awesome jersey. I love the Butter Knights. I love how it says Buffalo on the bottom. I think they did a fantastic job with that.
So can we all agree it's going in S tier then?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just
Perfect.
baffled by
Make
this.
sure you save that.
I'm
Save that,
baffled
and
by
then
this bear on the shoulder.
Yeah, buddy. Here, I'll screenshot it.
Did you find the
Save
bear?
that.
Yeah,
And then we'll post it on
I
our,
can kind
Twitter.
of see it, but
All right, there we go. All right.
Yeah, save that, Zach, and then we'll post it on our like Instagram or whatever, or Twitter.
I'll just take a screenshot of the chart. 'Cause
Sounds
I think
good.
if I save it, I have to like make an account or something. I mean, I'll try it. Oh, okay. Hold up.
All right, so what are we doing now? I know we're running low on time here, but you at least want to get into the Royal Rumble. So, Nick, you have to dip out. You can dip out.
Start off if you want. I know Devyn's a big wrestling fan. I am as well. So
really, oh, sick.
I am.
All right, I'll figure this shit out later. So
Sounds good.
So,
Devin,
as
your
we know,
screen, right?
the Royal
All you.
Rumble.
Yeah. Yeah, we got the Royal Rumble this Sunday. Kickoff is at 6. The actual event is at 7. They didn't say who was going to be first, who was going to be on the kickoff, or anything of that, but I just did it based off of what came first, like on a website that I looked at. So the SmackDown Women's Championship is like at the bottom because they just announced that like literally yesterday. So the first one is the U.S. Championship between Bobby Lashley and Matt Riddle. Anybody have anything they want to say about that? Like who they think is going to win and why?
As one of the bigger wrestling fans here first, I think that I don't know. I just think they're pushing the Hurt Business a lot. I can't see them taking away from Lashley. I love Matt Riddle. I'm original bro. I'm all day with Riddle. I hope he wins. I think this is a huge thing for him to become a first champion in the WWE. But I just think that WWE's pushing the Hurt Business a lot. I think Lashley's kind of the. But I'd be completely okay with seeing a Riddle win. That'd be awesome to see that.
Zach?
Go ahead, Zach.
Or
Go ahead. Other
Gooch.
cooler Clarkson, Zach.
just
Clarkson,
remind
Zach.
me who did I pick? Because I don't have much insight.
You picked Lashley.
Yeah, so similar to Nick's reason, I feel like this close to WrestleMania, I don't really see them having a reason to change it, just if they potentially want to just have the title switch hands once again. So, and like he said, I think they're kind of pushing for it. So I think Lashley's going to come out with this one.
Oh, you go.
I'm not I'm not big into wrestling as I used to be, but when I used to watch it, Bobby Lashley, you never picked against him. He was just jacked. He was
a beast.
champion. He was a beast, exactly. So I'm gonna go with Bobby Lashley on that one.
All right. I'm actually gonna go with Matt Riddle. In the past couple of weeks, the Hurt Business has actually been hurting themselves. I know that Cedric is kind of like getting in the way of Bobby Lashley. This is why Matt Riddle got into this championship match, was because of Cedric. I'm going to go with Matt Riddle just based off that fact, because they might, interfere at some point. The next match that I have is the Intercontinental Championship match, which is Big E versus Sami Zayn. And I know that me and Gooch have Big E winning. Just because they just put the title on him, on Christmas, and I don't think he should be a good singles player, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think the New Day, they kind of disbanded. I think that Big E was their. I think they kind of tried it with Kofi last year or a year and a half ago. They tried to have him be the singles guy out of the New Day and, let them kind of go by themselves. And I love Kofi. Kofi's a great wrestler as well. But I think Big E's the best well-rounded singles competitor of the New Day. I think he's a good mouthpiece. He's a very good wrestler, very agile, very strong. I mean, he can do it all. He's entertaining. I mean, that's a huge thing with WWE and Vince McMahon. If you're entertaining, he likes you. He wants you to be pushed and stuff like that, and that's just how he is. So,
Exactly.
I am going with Big E as well, and I'm gonna eat my bootios tomorrow.
Hey, yeah. So next up is the women's tag, which has Asuka and Charlotte, the champions at this moment in time, versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler.
So I'm not gonna lie, I don't know too much about the women's division nowadays in WWE. However, I'm pretty sure I picked, was it Nia and Shayna you said?
You picked Charlotte and Asuka.
Oh, did I really? All right, that's honestly a mistake. I meant to pick the other two because I've seen a few videos of Nia Jax, and she just seems like an absolute monster. Like, she is massive, and she can
Agreed.
manhandle the shit out of anybody in that division.
And
So-
that's why a lot of people put her as the injury made woman of the women division, because she has injured a lot of competitors.
Yeah, like, she legit probably could wrestle in the men's division and be fine. So yeah, for that
Exactly.
reason, I am going with Nia and, was it Shayna you said?
Mhm.
So yeah, that's my pick.
I'm with Zach on this one. Sorry, Nick, to cut you off.
No,
I'm with
go
Zach
for it,
on this
man.
one. I really don't know a lot about the women's now, back on like when I used to watch it, but I'm going with Nia Jax because she's an absolute tank, and you can't go against her.
Yep.
I see. I'm gonna be a little bit different here. Just based on watching a little bit of wrestling, reading about it beforehand and stuff like that. They've been pushing Charlotte hard since she came back. Her and Asuka are absolute. I mean, probably the most well-rounded wrestler or female wrestlers out there. Asuka's fantastic. Charlotte's fantastic. Both two submission just feet. I'm picking them. I can't pick. You can't go against the champ sometime, and that's what I'm going with.
Okay. I went with Nia and Shayna. Sorry, but the only way that they're winning is that they're pushing a rivalry between Charlotte and Lacey Evans, and technically Ric Flair, because he came back for the Legends Night on one of the Monday nights. So they're pushing for that. So I feel like they're definitely not going to keep Asuka and Charlotte, especially with that rivalry with Lacey Evans. So they're dropping the belts, sadly, but they could definitely hold their own. Yeah. We'll go with the SmackDown Women's Championship match next between Sasha Banks and Carmella. Any opinions?
Honestly, I think Carmella's an awful wrestler. I think she's absolutely awful. I don't think that there's like I don't know. I don't think she's a good wrestler. I think Sasha Banks is awesome. And I'm going Boss all day.
Okay.
I think, did I also have Sasha?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of Sasha Banks before. I've never heard of this other chick, Carmella, you said?
Yeah.
Never heard of her.
Zach,
Never
I'm
heard
with
of
you.
her. So for that reason, and I know, Devin, you've showed me a few clips of Sasha Banks before too.
Yeah.
She looks well up on the upper, probably top 5 of the women's wrestlers right now.
Yeah, she's up there with Charlotte.
Yeah, and so for that reason, I don't see her losing, especially at an event as big as this one and at one this close to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Zach, I'm with you. I have no idea who the other chick is, the other girl is, so I am going Sasha Banks. We're better off just moving on to the next one.
The next one is the Universal Championship, which is a blue championship for some reason. And it's Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens.
All right, I'll let Devin and Nick take this one away first because I want to hear what they have to say so I can, provide some better insight.
Nick, do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Like I said about Big E, I say the same thing about Roman. He's a powerhouse. He's agile. He does it all. Vince loves that are powerhouses. He loves giants. He loves monsters. He loves guys that are just absolute beasts. And Roman is one of those. He's got Paul Heyman in his corner. You can't go against Paul Heyman. He's the advocate. He's the one he is the one behind the one that put the one in the Undertaker streak or something like that. I know it goes something like that. Roman Reigns is a absolute monster. Kevin Owens is really good. Don't get me wrong. Kevin Owens is an excellent promo thing. Anything when Kevin Owens hits the mic, you know something's going to happen. You know something's about to go down. But I can't go against Roman. I'm going all day.
I will also go with Roman. Ever since he's debuted with the Shield, everyone has liked him. Up until like his singles runs, everyone just hated the hell out of him. Like forever, they tried pushing him to the sky, and no one liked him. And then he went away. He didn't go to WrestleMania last year because of like COVID restrictions or something like that. I can't remember the exact thing. But he returned at SummerSlam.
He had leukemia, didn't he?
He did at one point, but I think that was 2018. So last year it was
Okay.
COVID. It was COVID related, but came back at SummerSlam. You know, brand new teeth.
Brand new teeth?
Yeah, like he like. Don't even worry about it.
Dentures
like,
in or something?
It's pretty weird. But now he's being pushed fairly well.
Oh yeah, ever noticed that?
He's the head of the table, as he has said. I feel like this persona of Roman Reigns is definitely gonna take the cake. I love Kevin Owens, but at the same time, can't beat the head of the table.
Roman Reigns
so-
is just a straight up beast. Ever since when I started when I was watching it, that's when the Shield came out, and I was absolutely in love with Roman Reigns and his power bomb, the spear, absolute tank. So I'm going Roman Reigns on this one.
Well, it looks like I'm the only one that picked Kevin Owens. I think he's going to come out here with his 2002 style shorts going past his knees. And, I don't know how long this match is like scheduled to last or projected to last, but I feel like, I don't know. I feel like with Kevin Owens' build, people kind of underrate him a little bit and they don't think that he can do as much as he can do. And I think that he is somehow going to outlast Reigns here, and I think he's going to take the title from him, and I think their feud is going to go right into WrestleMania.
I definitely feel like this match is going to be the third longest match on the card, because obviously you have the two Rumbles.
Right.
But this next match, I would be pissed if something happened. And it maybe went over maybe 5 minutes. It's Drew McIntyre versus Goldberg, of all people. And I really want Drew McIntyre to win. And if Goldberg wins, I might actually cry, because like that's just complete baloney. Like watching Super Showdown with Goldberg versus The Fiend, I was devastated. I almost stopped watching WWE at that time, but Drew McIntyre is taking the cake. Obviously.
Did you almost stop watching because of how bad the match was, or because of the
Yes,
match?
it was so bad. Like, so they were bringing this new character, The Fiend, up. Like, oh, he's a monster. He can't be taken down. In his first match, like against Seth Rollins, it ended in a DQ in a Hell in a Cell, which makes no sense. But he like kept coming back and like was an absolute monster. And then you get into a fight with Goldberg, 4 spears, 1, 2, 3, done in like 4 minutes. It was sad.
Rip. Well, I guess I'll keep it short and sweet then. I had Goldberg winning, and I'm just gonna keep it at that. So too bad, Devin.
Oh,
I'll get to witness you cry then on Sunday.
the only time I have liked Goldberg in WWE is when he beat Brock Lesnar, because Brock Lesnar is the only guy in WWE that I cannot stand, because Brock Lesnar is not a wrestler. He's an absolute fighter. He's just, he's just crazy. Drew McIntyre by a mile. It should be. There shouldn't even be a match. Like, it's just insane how Goldberg can come back when he needs some money, and Vince McMahon's like, yeah, sure, here's a WWE Championship match.
Exactly. Like, that was his last two championship rounds. It was so bad.
So bad.
Zach, who do you got?
I'm going with a Drew McIntyre. Can't believe Goldberg's still freaking wrestling.
Yes.
We're talking.
I also have a question, Nick.
We're talking Goldberg from the Mighty Ducks, right? The goalie.
I have a question.
No,
Nick.
but I'm going Drew McIntyre.
Okay, good. I have a question, Nick. Do you remember? Do you mean when they faced off in 2004 or the 2016 Survivor Series match between Goldberg and Brock?
It was 2016 when he beat Brock, right? When Brock was on his streak for so long or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't stand Brock Lesnar, so I was glad that Brock Lesnar lost.
By the way, that match was a minute and a half.
Yeah, that wouldn't even last that long either.
As they should be.
Honestly, the best part now about Brock Lesnar, because of how consistent he is in the WWE, he literally just comes back when he is told, "Oh yeah, we'll push you for a year and have you absolutely dominate everyone." The best part about him is his theme song. Like when he comes in, shit's about to hit the floor for whoever he's about to come up to. But I mean, like, that's about it.
Especially if you see the steam come from his mouth.
Exactly. Nobody else really wants to see him.
No.
And same does go for, I think you interpreted it as I was talking about Goldberg. Same does go for Brock Lesnar too. Like, his theme is sick, and shit's about to hit the floor when he comes in, but you don't really want to see him get pushed just because for a year again. So
exactly. Okay, so next up is the Women's Rumble.
Yeah.
You don't
I feel you there.
You don't know what's gonna happen.
Who'd I pick?
You picked Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, perfect. There you go.
I'm going with that one too.
I picked her. I picked her because she's hot. That's it.
Okay. I also picked Alexa Bliss.
She's actually pretty good though.
I also have a secondary pick, which I think is actually my first pick, and I feel like it's going to be Rhea Ripley, because they had Charlotte and her had an amazing show amazing match at the last WrestleMania, and I feel like she should be able to come up to the main roster and actually kick ass. She hasn't been seen since New Year's, actually. I actually just found that out like this morning, that she hasn't been seen since New Year's, so she could be coming back just to get that main push.
I can't even name a female wrestler that's going to win the to be completely honest with you.
I don't know any.
I mean, like, the women's division has definitely gotten better, but
yeah.
It's also gotten a bit uglier.
Moving on.
Yes. I will contend
back
with
like 2000s women's wrestlers. Holy smoke show.
I mean, they were actual like models that had no like wrestling background.
That's true.
And last but not least, the men's rumble.
All right, so I'll just start off. I think I said Randy Orton's gonna win.
Correct.
But after you told me that he practically had his face burned off, what would you say is the chance that he comes back, or he is wrestling in it?
No, he is confirmed to be wrestling in it.
Oh, okay. Have there been any confirmed like comebacks from past stars, or no? Do they ever confirm those? They don't confirm those, do they?
They don't confirm.
Edge.
Yeah, the only one is Edge.
I'm going Edge. I'm going Edge.
Bro, I don't even
Vicky
know.
Guerrero will be in the corner. Vicky Guerrero will be in the corner with Edge.
Does John Cena come back ever?
He's part-time.
Part-time
Right now.
fucking bum. Well, let me do my Honda. Let me do my Honda commercial for my Honda Accord. I'll just stick with Randy Orton. I feel like if he's got his face half burned off, they're not going to push him too hard and like get him too involved. But I'll stick with him anyways because he's a beast in the ring anyways. So
I guess I have two. Both are on SmackDown. My one I think will win is Sami Zayn. I think Sami Zayn's it's about his time to finally get pushed the correct way. I mean, he's been the Intercontinental Champion, a tag team champions. I think it's finally time that he could get pushed to the. I mean, he's just an excellent heel. There's just when you go to wrestling events, you hate Sami Zayn just because of how much of a heel and just how great he is at it. And my second one, I believe Jey Uso is the one wrestling still, correct? Am I right about that?
Yep. Yeah, it's Jey.
I think he could be a sleeper pick because if he wins, he fights his cousin at the WrestleMania, set up a good storyline that way. I just think that could be a good storyline.
That is that. I wouldn't be mad at all if he actually won.
that would be pretty sick.
I can see that happening. Kind of guess right there. Just a little fun sleeper guess.
Good guess.
Heck yeah.
I have two. One of them is definitely like up in the air, like in the atmosphere, but I feel like Edge will probably win, get his second Royal Rumble win in there. If Randy Orton wins, that'll be his third Royal Rumble win. So he would be tied with Stone Cold. The other pick I have, he isn't in WWE. So he's just like AJ Styles. He was in NJPW, New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's rumored to be there. Probably not, but the Switchblade Jay White, he kind of has the exact same finisher as Bray Wyatt, but done a little bit better, so it doesn't look sloppy. He's a measly, I think he's 26, 25, so he's got a lot in him left, especially if Goldberg at 54 is facing off against one of the younger talents. But I feel like
dad's age.
Like you don't know what's gonna happen in the Rumble. Like I honestly almost was gonna say one of the surprise entrances was gonna win, because why not?
Because hey,
You never know.
you never know. But
You
here's
never
my
know.
pick.
You never know. Jeez.
Edge.
Is that conclude everything?
That concludes it.
Yeah, so the last thing I want to do, I know, Nick, you said you want to get out here soon. Last thing I just want to end off with is the Super Bowl predictions. I just want to hear what you three have to say, including myself, and then we can call it a night after that. So I guess, Zach, if you want to start then.
I am going with the Buffalo Bills. Just kidding. I am going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think Brady's just too good to beat in the Super Bowl, and Mahomes will have his chance. Mahomes is going to be there for the next couple of years. But this is Tampa Bay. This is Tampa Bay's year, because the Lightning won the Cup. The Rays almost won the World Series. Made to be. So there's my pick. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We'll go Devyn. Devyn.
I want to say the Chiefs. I do want to say that the Chiefs are going to win, but in the back of my mind, Tampa Bay hasn't had this good of a season in the past couple of years.
19 years.
Yeah. Last time they were good, they won the Super Bowl.
That's true, but I feel like I want to say the Chiefs, but I feel like it's going to go to the Buccaneers just because it's Brady.
Now we'll go Zach, because we already know the other.
All right, so This one's honestly a
Come on, I just want to
very
prove my point real quick.
no. You're gonna wait. All right. So I don't know. This one's very close, and honest to God, regardless of how good playoff Brady is and how good he will perform, I feel like the only way the Bucs win this game is if they don't have a repeat performance of what happened against the Chiefs the last time they played. They literally gave up 204 yards to Tyreek Hill alone in one quarter. In one quarter. And granted, the Chiefs have literally been doing the same thing all season. They did it against the Bills. They've done it against multiple teams in the playoffs. They literally just send Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce on crossing routes, deep to mid crossing routes, and whoever's open, they're open. It's a man breaker because both of those receivers are virtually unguardable. It's a zone breaker because you're kind of just floating around in the field and Mahomes just got to wait for you to get into a pocket. And the only way I honestly see the Bucs winning, I am going to go with the Bucs to win here. But the only way I see them winning is if they play some sort of like man zone combo kind of to where they can have their most of their DBs drop back into zone coverage. But I feel like they're going to have to maybe put a man on somebody as they run the zone so that way he can kind of follow them so they don't get lost in the zone coverage. Or they're just going to have to go strictly man and double Kelce and Tyreek for virtually the entire game. So,
And last but not least,
I'm just saying I have to say go Bucs as always. It's going to be a close game. It's not going to be a shootout. I just hoping for a close game because this past Super Bowls have been just so boring. I just want a good one. Just going to throw the stat out. Not sure if it's true or not. 3 road wins in the playoffs get you a home Super Bowl win? Question mark.
get out of here.
We'll find out next week.
That equation might be right.
3 road wins.
Hey,
3 road wins
we'll
to get to the Super Bowl to play in their home stadium. I've never seen that before. I've never seen 3 road wins.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, I don't even know when the last time is a team won 3 road wins to get into the Super Bowl.
Exactly. So
I'll chime in next week or 2 weeks actually. But is that all we have?
you won't know next week yet.
I know. We won't. We'll be back next week, right?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
We'll know we'll know the Pro Bowl votes and all that shit. The versus battles.
Yeah,
we'll talk about the Royal Rumble too.
Yeah, we can talk about the results for sure.
I really hope I'm not pissed. I will be so mad. Oh dear.
Zach, is that all we got?
Yeah, I believe so. I'm just trying to look up and see. I don't even know. I don't even know how to properly word it to figure out which teams won 3 road games to get to the Super Bowl and then ended up winning either. So, we'll dig a little deeper for next week and find out.
Next week to find out.
There we go.
That is all we have for our podcast this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Follow us on our social media pages, our YouTube, our Instagram. We even have an Instagram.
Yeah, we do. We'll have to figure out how to link that stuff. Tyler has a bunch of formatting, like a new format and stuff like that coming to it, but he's not here, so we weren't able to use it yet. So
Yeah. So follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Hit us up with a message, whatever. We'll help you out with whatever. We'll talk sports. We always love talking sports. But that is all we have for this week. Please stop in next week and we're talking some more sports again. Peace out. And that recording, and we are out of here.